Of course, the graphics is not correct. It is what it is. All right. Does it work correctly? God knows. No one knows. Least of all me. Hi everyone. Let me lower the volume a little bit for that music. Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all feel good. I know I do. If I can get this to like look properly, it looks fine. This looks like a normal. This looks like a normal screen. Wonderful. Hi everyone. Welcome to the end of the month hangout, which I do. Didn't do it last month because I had a mental health episode. Mental health, and but we're back now, and we're doing video. I also didn't have any time last month. Last month was weird. Anyway, hi everyone. Welcome to the stream. My face looks weird. I don't know why. Hope you're doing well. I think I said it like 4 or 5 times. The way this works, the end of the month hangout is, we try to talk about the month that has been, the month that's coming up, and talk about whatever else there's to talk about. I didn't just dab in 2023. I dab all the time because I'm cool and hip with the kids. The way it works is we talk a little bit about the month that has been, the month that's coming up, and if I have a new video out, sometimes we talk about that a little bit. And I do have a new video out, which is finally, right? Why am I talking shit about myself? So we do that, and we do that for like about an hour or something. If you're here and you're new, that's how that works. You might be new because my last video was a smash hit in the analytics, and it seemed like all of you really liked it. And I'm going to go through some feedback today because I like to do that. Not reading any letters anymore because I stopped doing that because you couldn't be trusted. God, why am I so weird today? Anyway, hi. In the last 2 months that have been, because I didn't do a stream last month, let's dig into that a bit more. So last month, in April, it was my birthday. I've finally become 19 years old, and that month was just that was fun. The month before that was March, and in March I had so much work going on, and also like doing the research for this video was a mess because a lot of the laws that were coming out like during those weeks. So I would have like a draft of a script done, and then like 2 or 3 days later I would have to rewrite it entirely because someone would say something stupid or someone would do something weird. And so that was a whole thing, and it really messed me up for like a little bit in terms of the scripting. And I also had a bunch of work, like outside of the YouTube specific stuff, because it's tax season and it like a lot of things happen. It's a very busy month for content creation people, at least in Sweden, and because of that, I straight up just did not have enough time to do the streams in March. So that's why we haven't done one of these since early March, because like March, April was a mess. But now things are better. Summer is fast approaching. And then most recently, I have released a new video, which very poorly titled "What's the deal with the trans debate?" I couldn't come up with a better question, with a better title. I was thinking of maybe having it be somewhere along the lines of, like digging into the trans question, like using the trans question sort of vernacular, but I didn't really want to do that because that's too depressing. Hi everyone, good evening. If you have any questions, by the way, feel free to ask, and I will try to answer. Is there something wrong with the lower lip? No, I got a sore, don't I? Fun fact, when you do hair removal, it burns your skin to such a fucking degree that sometimes your face just breaks out in sores, which is why I also have like this thing here. Cause, just to clarify, do you remember like a few streams ago that I did like a few months ago when I would just wear masks occasionally? And what do you say? Like, just cover up my face. This is why. Because my face does this all the time. It's even worse when I like do full face hair removal, not heroin. Well, I guess it does that for heroin too. I don't know. I've yet to see the last video. You should see it. It seems to be a bop, as the kids say. Dab. I refuse to be full face heroin. Probably shouldn't say that on stream today. But that, like, that's why my face looks like this. It sucks because there's nothing to do for just healing it. It just fucking sucks. I've never sent a letter in my life. It can't be trusted. The Magic 19. That's right. I finally become a teenager. Really like the editing. Thank you. I worked really hard on this one. And I think the video was very fun. But where are you going with this? Hope things are getting less hectic and then you can proceed with the plan to create people's products on internet. Well, that's one of the reasons why I was really busy, because for those of you who aren't tuned into like 100% of the Mia Mulder lore, I'm also a politician outside of doing YouTube. So I'm like balancing those two jobs right now, and it's really difficult to do that. And some weeks there's a lot of work going on in municipal government. Some weeks there isn't that much going on, and then I can do more about YouTube stuff. And in March and April, there was so much fucking stuff to do. It's good to have you back on there. Thank you. I'm back now, at least. Can you ask the Swedish government to give us back Skåne? No, it's ours. How did you like the Azeal stream? I liked it. It was fun. I wish I had more time to be on it more. I was initially planning to be on it twice, and I initially planned for the second time to be when Azeal was on the stream as well, to just hang out for a little bit. But that second time fell through because I had other stuff going on. But it was fun. You know, I always like doing charity streams or like being on charity streams because it's for a good cause, and trans rights is good, and some people have lost their goddamn minds when it comes to trans people apparently. So it's good to at least try to combat that in some level, which is good. But speaking, let's see, like nothing else has really happened in the month that has been. I've started to stream again for patrons, which I'm sorry, but I'm doing my best. I haven't gotten back to streaming on Twitch yet, but that's also one of those things that are like, who has the time? But I will find the time. I will find the time, or else. It's not even politics that take up a lot of time. Honestly, sometimes it's just YouTube shit. Because like people think that all you do as a YouTuber is you write a script, you shoot a video, and you edit it. But you don't. I have to do fucking taxes on my corporation. Because I'm a legal entity as a corporation, so I have to do taxes and like tax deductible shit and like do expense report. Like I hate it. I hate paperwork. Like I didn't get into YouTube to do this, to have a real job, but alas. I do also support trans wrongs, to be fair. I hope your YouTube wiki page is someday blotted out with just info on your build proposal record. What is my YouTube wiki? Do I have a YouTube wiki page? What the fuck is it? Hold on, what even is a YouTube wiki? Isn't that just YouTube? Or isn't that just Wikipedia? I know I have a Wikipedia page, but I just noticed. I have it on my Wikipedia page. It's like me, I'm older, Swedish politician and YouTuber. And then like on the sidebar panel, like the info panel is like YouTube information, and then Sollentuna sitting councillor, incumbent office. That's fun. That's silly. Stupid. So it might be, but I think that my YouTube career is bigger than my political career for sure. It's straight up is like people think that like being a politician is this huge thing. It's not. I have more followers on YouTube than there are people living inside the municipality that I'm in opposition inside of. So like it's objectively a bigger career to be on YouTube. Wikipedia? Yeah, I don't know. The corporate communist. Ooh, Thomas, what makes a topic stick out to you and make you want to do a whole video on it? If it occupies my mind for any particular period of time, then that is something that I would like to make a video on. And that often, and because of that, it often ends up being something that's like, it's mentioned in the news, or it's mentioned sort of like in creator circles, which is how you end up with like multiple creators making videos on the same topic sometimes. So like me and Sean, for example, made a video on masculinity like right around the same times, which with very similar themes, but with how do you say? But that's just because like me and Sean have very similar thought patterns around masculinity, and And because masculinity was already like on everyone's mind because of Andrew Tate. But it's so like if I keep thinking about something and if I feel like I have something important to contribute to it, that's usually what it is, unless I'm halfway through the video of the month, still don't know what I'm gonna make for video that month, and I got like 4 or 5 different drafts for videos that I don't really care about, and that deadline is coming up, and a sponsor is like doing this to me, being like, you gotta make a video because the ads gotta go out, the sponsors needs a video out. So sometimes I kind of just force it. But the thing is that the worst thing about that is like people can tell you, my wonderful audience, can tell when I'm not passionate about a subject, because all of those videos underperform. So it has to be something that I'm passionate about, because that passion shows in the YouTube video. It's good. Thank you for the YouTube stream today. Thank you so much for the $10. Holy shit. Thank you. If we all move into Mia's municipality, we can make her the undefeatable head of it. Yes, you could. And you should. I had a few people who did vote for me specifically, but not enough to actually put me in charge. Yet. Milo Edwards has a joke about how people become comedians because they don't want to have a real job and end up doing like 5 separate jobs at once. Yep. I mean, that's the thing about being a YouTuber, right? You're an editor. You're a writer, editor. You're on screen, and a bunch of other shit. First result is reading German force femme smut on stream. Second result is public official database. Good, as it should be. When it goes hard, it goes hard. It goes hard, and I'm trying to figure out more videos to like go hard. How do you say? Like I have a few video topics that I feel really passionate about, but it also has to be something that I feel like is in the zone. And also something that's like won't get me cancelled. Like not that's not to say that I have like a bunch of cancelable opinions or anything, but it's like I would love to do a video on sex work. I know, like I happen to know like a fair number of sex workers personally, like in real life, who are like close friends, and I find it really interesting that they have opinions that are not at all in line with what most, like the commonly held opinion is among sex work in Sweden. I think that like on left-wing YouTube, Twitter, online spaces, they're a bit more sort of like in tune with what they have, which is like, you know, decriminalization is a good thing, which is also my opinion, and their opinion. I don't want to say that I only repeat their opinion, because it is also my own opinion, but that is also their opinion. Anyway, but if I made a video like that, I think that I would have some interesting points to contribute to that. But I live in Sweden, where if you have opinions like that, you will get cancelled, like to the point where they will throw bricks in your house, and saying that you are like pro-slavery and shit. Like they are adamant about their opinions here. Which is fair. It's a very controversial topic, but it's like, do I want that kind of heat? Especially like, not really. If I lived like in the UK, if I lived in the UK or the US, I would have no hesitancy doing that. But like here, I don't know. We're gonna move on to like what's happening next month, by the way, because I will have a video in this month, actually, in May. There will be a video now. I won't go 2 months this time. There will be a video this month. What about? I don't know. We'll figure it out together. I've been crashing and burning. It is what it is. But it does go hard, and like similar thing happened with like my video on why people join the military, transsexuals and suffering. Like all of it, videos that I have real passion about, they perform well because people like them. Have I evaded taxes yet? I have, but only accidentally. Because now, and it actually happened like it actually happened a few weeks ago. And they let me know very kindly, and it was an accident. And the way I evaded taxes or committed tax fraud was I failed to declare a fair number of sources of income as income, and that is because that's because I have like a bunch of various like sources of income right now. Like all of them, like none of them are super big, but like they add up to like a normal fucking paycheck. Because I got Patreon, I got ads on sponsorships, I got ads on YouTube videos, and then I got sponsorships, which are separate. And people give me one-time donations. I stream sometimes on Twitch. And then I get paid from the municipality for being a politician, and like they're like all of these things, and sometimes I forget a few. Like I forgot like the income that I got from the podcast that I'm on, that I co-host. So I forgot to do that. Should have been talking. No, I fixed it. I fixed it with the tax office. They're fine. Oh, and thank you, Gorilla. Thank you very much. I applied to a Paradox job. Ooh, fun. Maybe we shouldn't give you money as it only gives you more work doing accounting. But listen, see, I appreciate money. I'll take it. I feel like I'm such a bad leftist. Because I like money. As I understand, the actual point of Nebula is to post sex work video essays. So you kind of have a platform. That is true. Nebula, that is exactly what Nebula is all about. It kind of is, actually, because like that's the whole shtick of Nebula. I need to be more involved with the people who work behind it. Because like it's a whole network of YouTubers, right? And we all talk to each other, and we're all in connection. But they're like 99% of them are Americans. So when I log off from work and like I go home to paint my figurines or you know, I don't know, eat candy, that's when they log on. That's when they like wake up to start doing their job. So you know, we're always like out of sync. Which sucks, because I would love to connect with more YouTubers, but one, I have no social energy, because I'm probably neurodivergent, and two, I am, and everyone lives in America, so. 3 white boys travel the world. They have a travel show now. I don't know what the deal is with that. Like, I'm so out of the loop about everything to do with Nebula these days. These figurines. Tell us more about them. I will tell you soon. What was your favorite part of the latest video? Like, I don't even remember most of my video. What did I have? I think my favorite segment of my last video was my segment on truth, because I think that was a fun thing to talk about a little bit. Like, how do you say it? Like, I really liked having the concept of truth and the bull, like the bull religion thing, and I think I could have been a bit clearer that I should have. Because I believe that like truth is a good way for people to or I think that is a good sort of like measure for how good a society is, like how much do you rely on truth? Because if you don't care about truth, then at that point, like a lot of ways to make society better are more difficult to do. And I got some criticism for that. Speaking of feedback on my video, in the comments of that video, but it's not really about like, oh, we should ignore truth entirely because sometimes people feel good. That I feel like that's a very sort of like bad interpretation of my video, but much more a sort of like, is that all that matters when forming a society? And maybe there are some cases when we don't have to, and I think that was a fun part of me. A lot of people did also say that it was inspiring, which I appreciate. In an earlier draft of the video, it was not inspiring at all. I had this big segment on when I talked about sort of creating media and being inspired by like documentaries and content from the 70s and 80s, like LGBT media. A big part of that segment was very sort of like almost a little edgy, a little bit, but it didn't really work out in the actual video. So I cut like a huge segment on that, and I'm glad that I made it somewhat more inspirational, because then it led into the outro part about, you know, working and being prepared and fighting together and things like that. I'm legitimately so like, I forgot so much part of that video because like when I finish a video, when I finish the video and I put it up on the Premiere, the second I hear the Premiere music, I like my brain just like erases itself. And just like, and I forget. It happens. But I think that was the favorite part of my last video. But that does bring me a little bit to the feedback that I got from that video. And the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, I will say. I got a fair number of people sharing it on Twitter, which is fun. Like a lot of like big YouTube names, which helped propel it a little bit, I think. Some big streamers watched it on stream. Don't know who, cause no one tells me. But they make money from my content, but that also does bring in some views. So in my view, it's like a rising tide lifts all boats. But a lot of people were, how do you say? It's been mostly positive. There have been a few people who were a little bit like miffed about that segment on truth, because they were like, why are you making apologetics for like fundamentalist Christianity? And it's just like, that's not what I'm saying. And I got a few people who are a bit more critical in the sense that they are like transphobic. Because you know how it is sometimes. Sometimes people are assholes. And I had a few people. How was it? There were a few people who were really angry at me for saying that the people who are trans, the people who say they are trans, and that I'm not upholding a dividing line between like real transsexuals and like all of these new people. Because all of these new people, which I guess is what they call like tenders or tender queers, or I don't know what the fuck they're calling. But these like new trans people who don't count, because they make everyone look bad, and because of that, and it's their fault that like Republicans are attempting like a trans genocide. And I got a lot of people who were like being like, Mia, you're helping the right wing by like pretending as if we're all equal, but we're not, which is fucking stupid. and not really feedback that I respect, to be honest. Oh, nice. I'm glad that you wrote your newest video. I'm gonna check it out. Go to channel. Can I go to channel? I can. There are no videos there yet, but hopefully soon. Every time I get a comment being like, "Why did you say X thing?" Like, yeah. Swolesome said your video was great on streaming today. Oh, fun! Quick Google who Swolesome is. Cause I don't know. Trenders, that's the one. If you use truth to refer to a shared cultural foundation for understanding reality, would ethos be a better term? It's an ethos dependent on internal truth that isn't true or original. I guess, yeah. The thing that I don't like about ethos is that that's not the way that like Republicans use it or like anti-trans lobbyists use it. They use truth to refer to an objective view of like human reality, like objective facts, like one plus one is 2, and you know, hydrogen and atoms, etc. And it's because of that I wanted to have it be a bit more like grounded, sort of, than talking about like shared understandings of what truth is. But yeah, it's just Blair White bullshit all over again. Or like this new one on TikTok who's also like who transitioned as a child, but who now is advocating against for children transitioning, because they're not real, but she was, because people are assholes. Anyway. But I think that was fun. What about these figures? I got a few figures. First of all, I got a diorama for my birthday. Like a little medieval village that I build brick by brick. It's very therapeutic. But I haven't... It's nowhere near finished. And then I have these little guys. Let me see if I can demonstrate this. These little assholes. Which, you know, maybe not the greatest. But it's also therapeutic and fun to draw. I don't really play the game. The Warhammer game. I don't play that. But I like drawing them, and I like the lore, and I like, you know, being a little silly. You see voting sex, yet you are an electoralist. Not really, honestly. I got a few people who... I mentioned in the video that I have gone into politics. I don't make a huge big deal out of it, but like I've mentioned this, like I am in politics, but a lot of people just didn't understand that and just said that, like, why are you advocating for politics to not work? I think that that's pretty like fatalistic and like a doomer attitude that isn't helping. And I'm like, but I'm in politics. Like electoralism barely fucking works. But it does work, is the thing. Like, it sucks. it's a thing that doesn't really work, but if we don't do it, things become much, much worse. That's sort of like my vibe. And I had a few people who were like, aren't you a Democrat? Being like, I'm not American. We have a completely different system, electoral system even. But I had a few people who were a little weird about the politics. Me being like, voting doesn't fucking work. But like, I think it's fine to, like, I still advocate for people to vote, and I think it's fine to be a little depressed about the futility of voting in a system where like everything's stacked against like actual fair democracy. I think it's fine to be like depressed and fatalistic about that a little bit and be a little nihilistic. Do you think the USA will adopt WHO's definition? I have no idea about that. I cannot state anything. What's the best trans-related book you ever read? Probably Detransition Baby. I fucking love Detransition Baby. It was a really good book. And also the inspiration for my second most popular video, which is called Detransition Gender. It's really, really good. It also does this thing of like, how do you say? It does this thing of like being a very sort of like grounded in its portrayal on transness, which is like a thing that I really want, from like trans media generally, because a lot of it I feel is like really, a lot of it is like very like glossy, like a little too fancy, a little too well produced. What I'm gonna call the Euphoria thing, which is a really good like show and has like good trans representation, which is objectively good, I do like, but it's like doesn't feel like it. I had a few people actually, which reminds me of it. I had a few people who, there were a few people who thought that I was lying about coming from a rural village, for some reason. There are a few people. There's a few people on the internet who, for some reason, think that I am like upper middle class, and that's like I come from like old money, which I straight up don't. I come from like a poverty family, and like I've been poor for like most of my life, like straight up like not sure if I'm gonna have rent or food for the next like week, poor. So, and that shit irked me a little bit. That shit annoyed me, because I don't know why people would assume that I'm lying about that. It's not even like a poverty thing. It's just like they didn't even believe the fact that I came from a rural town, and then they just put in the thing that's like, oh, she's pretending to be like working class when she's so obviously not. And you're just like, well, what? But I think that may have something to do with the fact that I think this, like, the people who have this opinion typically come from places where having a university degree is sort of like very much like attuned with like, well, then you can't be working class, like by definition. because then you would have, you know, massive student loans, or like not a, you just don't have it because you can't afford it. Conveniently forgetting that I'm from a different fucking country. Seen a lot of people dunk on it. I mean, I like to dunk on it too, but you know, it's still. I think it's good trans rep for. It's better trans rep at least than the one that I got as growing up, and I think that that's an improvement. What else? And then I had a few people who were also accusing me of lying about the intersex thing, that the possibility of me maybe being intersex, which I'm waiting on test answers on like now, because that is the thing that has happened in after this video got out, is because I sort of had that as a part of a like a little as part of a thing in the video. And as I was writing the video, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a bit more research about it, like, because I'm gonna read up the symptoms. And then I was like, oh shit, this looks even more. This looks even more like something I have. I'm even more suspicious now than I was when we suspected it, like when I started HRT. And like that's fine, but then. So I was like, okay, then I'm gonna get tested. It's gonna take a long time, but whatever. And then I had a lot of people, like a ton of people who like are intersex, contact me after that video came out and gave me like a bunch of resources, like on the topic, on the syndrome that I might have, and a lot of them were like, oh yeah, you fit the profile entirely, like you should definitely get tested if you're not already, which I already was, but now I'm like, oh shit, let's see what we have. So now I'm looking forward to the test results. Why would I lie? I don't know why I would lie. It's like people get weird on the internet. Transphobes get really weird on the internet specifically. Do you think your life would have been radically different if you saw a single positive trans rep as a kid? Because I'm pretty convinced a lot of ours would be, oh yeah, for sure. I didn't even know you could be trans. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing until I was an adult. If I had known, I would have probably transitioned earlier. Speaking of seeing YouTubers as Satanists, when I made my video on transvestigators, immediately after that, I had a few people who made YouTube shorts about me, and using like video artifacts and like reflections and like light reflections in my eyes to prove that I was some sort of like demonic entity or something, that I was like an openly proud demon. It was really weird. I'm gonna see if I can find it's gonna be real difficult to find, but yeah, I'm not sure. But if I do find it, I'll try to let you know. I'm gonna try to figure out like what else is happening in the month that's coming up. And then in the month that's coming up, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna try to stream a few more video games. I'm gonna try, what's it called, to stream some like Crusader Kings on Twitch, because the new expansion is coming and I think it's gonna look good and fun. So I'm looking forward to that, and I would like to have it. It's gonna be out on like Wednesday or some shit. So I'm gonna try to do that. Video's gonna be out at the end of the month. Don't know what it's gonna be about yet. I have a few like script drafts or whatever that I need to like start refining. Yeah. But in the month that's coming up, I don't really have any special events coming up. I'm gonna collab a little bit with some other YouTubers I know, but that's gonna be like on their channels or whatever. So you'll see me on some other people's channels, I think, in the next month, or the month that's coming up. But that's not something that I'm actively doing, so I can't really. Am I afraid of the potentially fleeting nature of your YouTube career, or do you welcome it? Oh, I'm definitely afraid. For sure I am, because I've never been able to hold down a real job, like a real proper job. I've never been able to hold that down. YouTube works because it's not a real job. It's very sort of creative. I can set my own hours. It's fun. Politics works because I don't have a superior. I have a problem with authority, and like, I don't have a superior except for the people. So for me, it's like because I'm the boss. I got people working for me. Well, for the party, but I'm in charge. But they get paid more than I do. Weird. Anyway, and God, how do you say? So like none of those are real jobs. So I love YouTube. I love the opportunities that it gives me. I love how it really like suits the way that I work. And to tie this in with the question that I saw earlier, I don't really have like a ton of political ambitions. I'm gonna do my term, and then I'm gonna be done. I think I'm gonna be over with that. I don't think we're gonna run for re-election, at least in my position that I have right now, because the position I have right now is quite time demanding. So I might want to step into a less time intensive role, and I would, how do you say, I could do that, but it depends. At the same time, it does depend a little bit, because I have ideas for the party, and I would like the party to change. So if I ever attain some sort of like actual cultural power within the party, and I could reach, and I could actually go somewhere, I might get a bit more ambitious. But right now I don't really have any ambition in that point. But that means that YouTube is basically the career path that I have, and it's very fleeting, because YouTube is not going to be around until I retire. I mean, I'm also going to age, and people will get tired of my content. That happens to almost every single YouTuber. It's very, very difficult to continuously grow as a YouTuber, or even stay at the level that you are. Most people don't make it that far. So that's sort of like where I'm coming from. So I'm afraid of it, and I don't really have a solution for it, except for getting a diagnosis for ADD, which I probably have, and like get properly medicated. Because then maybe I could hold on a job. But I think right now, like my long-term career path is make content until it doesn't work anymore, and then I'll figure it out. Like maybe then I'll go into politics as a career person. But like going into politics as a career, like to make money, like even if you need the money, like I think you should be in politics because you want to change the world. I don't think you should be in politics to make money. I just don't think that should. I think you should make enough money to like support yourself, but that's not a career, really. So there's a part of me that's very much like, yeah, like I think what I would end up doing probably is I have this ambition, this dream of how do you say? I had this dream of starting a production company that could make like short films, um, TV shows for YouTube kind of stuff. Not for YouTube because that doesn't make any money, but you know what I mean. Like I have a dream of someday making enough money where I could sort of fund that and start that up as a company. Um, but that would be like in the long term when my role in it all would not be in front of the camera, um, and things of that nature. But who knows? Maybe people will keep watching my videos until I'm 40, 50 years old, 60, to the point where I can, save some retirement money and actually, keep doing this as a long-term stable career. Maybe. I'm hoping, because I fucking love it. Why'd you go into politics to begin with? I kind of fell into it. I don't mean to talk about politics all the time on this streams. I do this quite a lot, I've realized, and a lot of people don't care. Uh, which I apologize for, but at the same time, it just takes up a lot of my time, which is why it happens. But I went into politics because I wanted to support my local party first, and then I went on the election. Then I found myself on the voting ballot because they needed people to be on the ballot, and then there was a conflict within the party about whether or not a certain person should have a certain position. And that person was supposed to have that position for a long time, and everyone sort of agreed on it. And then something happened, like the day of the vote, where we internally within the party were going to pick who that person was going to be, and everyone turned on that person. And for some reason, I was like, "I'll do it." And that position is paid, but it's also like that position is basically like the person who is in charge. The main representative out of all the other representatives. So, so I kind of fell into it by accident. Initially I didn't even want. Initially I just wanted to like help out with, putting up posters and shit. But you find yourself being dragged into it very quickly because people, and then you start caring, right? Then you're like, oh, but I do think the schools should be better funded. I do think that maybe there should be like free breakfasts provided at schools for kids. And then you're like, oh, but no one's proposing that. Well, I can do that, and then you're stuck. Then you're stuck, and then now you're writing proposals day and night. And instead of being a cool person in your 20s who is out partying and getting drank, no, you're home now writing municipal planning proposals. But it's fun. Like, it's fun because I care, but also I don't want to do it forever. Imagine a 56-year-old Mr. Beast. Well, he could already, like, retire. He's fine. Maybe it's my Gucci frames. It might be my Gucci frames that make people think that I'm, like, upper middle class. I mean, I like fashion. But that doesn't mean that I typically can afford it. These one cost me like $15. It's not really. What's Stockholm like? Ooh. It's. Stockholm's nice. I like Stockholm. I like living in Stockholm. I have a good time here. The people can be kind of stuck up. Everyone has a stick up their ass. If you want to do something, there's not a lot to do. Like there are some clubs and there's a lot of museums. The museums are nice. But like I don't think it's the most like exciting town. It's nice. It's a nice town, but I don't know enough about it. I also live here, right? So there's a part of me that's just like, this is just where I live. I go to my grocery store. I think maybe other people will probably have a different perspective on it. If you want, you can go to Atlas Obscura. And Atlas Obscura has this like map mode where you can look all over Stockholm, for example, for like interesting things. And if any of those interesting things like stand out to you and be like, I would like to see that, then that's a good thing to do. Did you get your frames fixed? I did. I did get my frames fixed. They are fixed. Does the city have mad vibes? It can have. Swedes can party pretty hard, but only if they get really drunk. And they rarely get very drunk. No, they don't. Swedes get drunk all the fucking time. I don't know why I said that. Swedes drink like there's no tomorrow. So Swedes can party pretty hard, but if you try to like, you know, it can be difficult. But I like Stockholm. It's nice in the summer. It's nice weather. Okay. Do I have anything else? Like, do I have anything else that's like that's on the timetable for today? Like a thing that's like coming up, a thing that has been, or like feedback to the video. I don't think I have much else because like I've mentioned everything. I think like the video did pretty well. I got a fair like number of like a bump in subscriptions. I got how do you say? It's my this video is my most successful ever in this amount of time. I've never had a video like reach 100,000 views in less than 2 hours. Less than 2 days. Sorry, that's pretty good. And it's approaching 200,000 slowly, which would be really good for me to get. Really fun for me to get anyway. Stanhall syndrome. I have no idea what this is. But okay. I think that I'm trying to sort of like figure out where, if I forgot anything to do. My earbuds are starting to glitch out. My earphones are starting to glitch out a little bit. Because this room is like a weird electricity box. Because I got cables running everywhere. I'm trying to figure out, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I don't think I got anything else to like specifically talk about, so I'm going to answer questions in the chat. I'm gonna like reach the end of the chat roughly, so if you have a question, please drop it in the chat and I'll answer it. But then after that, I'm gonna end the stream for today, and I'm gonna play RimWorld. Maybe, I think that'll be fun. Where's the new game coming out today? Didn't I buy a new game like yesterday? Maybe I'll play Dredge or something. Like something on my own. Something fun just for me. What game entertains my ADHD? Fun question. So I alternate between a lot of video games. Like a lot. Which makes it really difficult to finish a game. But what I'll sometimes do is I'll play a lot of Fallout 4, and I play, how do you say, Fallout 4 is like my go-to if I don't know what else to do, and Crusader Kings 3 is also like pretty high up the list, especially now with a Game of Thrones. Which I like. The Game of Thrones mod is very fun. I do like that with all the sub mods that people do. When will the next stream be? I don't know. It should be. I'm gonna post a link on my Patreon, for the public, and that'll tell you. Fall Apart is very fun. Which RimWorld DLC? No, I play with all of them. They're all good. If not Stockholm, where would you like to live? I mean, like, probably Gothenburg. Like, I like living in Sweden, so that would, I mean, you know, it's where I come from. I do have a part of me, there's a small part of me that's like, well, it would be nice to live in America, where a bunch of my friends live and a lot of my work colleagues are. So there's a small part of me that's just like, what if I moved to like New York? Or like, what if I moved to like Boston or something? But listen, I'm kind of messed up health-wise. I need a lot of healthcare. So me in America, not a good deal. Like, even on the best of insurance, like, I need free healthcare. Like, I'm fucked otherwise. Like, I end up in the hospital like once a year. Because I don't take care of myself. So like, America is like a no-go for me. I love to visit America. America's nice to visit, but there's a part of me that's just like, oh, I would like to live there, but then, you know, healthcare. In your last video, you mentioned you found out about being trans on 4chan. That's true. What's your opinion on the 4chan trans community? So I was never on 4chan after they made the LGBT board, which I hear people make fun of being like, now it's TTTT because it's all trans people posting there. So I'm not on 4chan anymore. I don't really like it. It's a lot of toxicity. It's a lot of people comparing themselves. It's a lot of people sort of being really rude to each other for no reason. Like even sort of like the best of times. And I don't need that kind of negativity in my life, so I haven't been there in a really, really long time. Sometimes I have friends who still use it, and sometimes they'll send me screenshot when people are talking about me. Which scary, but it seems like from the very limited interactions that people have sent me, that people seem to like me there, which is good. I want to be on their good side, but primarily because I don't want to be on their bad side, because I've seen what happens then. But I don't know. I think it seems like a pretty toxic place, and it seems like a not super healthy place to hang out. Personally, like, some people I think find some community there, and good for them. Whatever floats your boat. But it doesn't work for me. But you know, if they like me, I love them. if someone pays attention to me and likes me, that's a win. Yes. Because I'm hungry for attention. Playing Fallout 76? No, I haven't. I've never tried it. Do you have any thoughts on Japan, politically speaking? Not really. How being 30 been? I don't like it. I mean, I'm fine with it, but like, there's a part of me that's just like, when I was a kid, I never made plans this long. So there's a part of me that's just like, I don't know. But it seems like it's fine. It's literally no different. But there's a part of me there's a small part of me that's having some like age issues. Just like, oh, I never got to be young. and hitting 30 is making that feeling a little bit stronger, but otherwise it's fine. I like being an adult, I will say. I do like being an adult who people respect, that hits good. My friend goes on TTT and it's bad, not my area, but it seems a bad place to subject yourself to. Yes. My 30s were even better than my 20s. Oh, my 30s will be better than my 20s, like, no doubt. There's no doubt about that. So I think I'm gonna enjoy aging. I sometimes make jokes where I'm like, oh, I can't wait until I get to retire, which is kind of true. But so like I am looking forward to getting older in a way. It's just like this weird like age complex that I have that makes no fucking sense. But objectively, my life will be better the older I get. Like that's just an objective truth. Because my 20s sucked ass. Anyway, on that happy note, I'm gonna end the stream for today. Okay. Babes. I'm gonna send you off into the darkness, and I'm going to play some video games until I have to go to bed. Tomorrow is another day of municipal planning permissions that I have to go through. And I'm going to post sometime next week. I'm going to post the streaming schedule for the month. So if you're a patron or just a follower, you don't have to give me money to see the streaming schedule. It's just that you won't be able to see most of the streams. You will be able to see that post though. So that'll tell you when my next streams are. Although, as fucking always, I keep rescheduling them because I wake up one morning and my head has turned into a dark goo of depression and anxiety. And on those days, I don't really like to stream. And I hope that you understand that. My back hurts if I sleep more than 10 minutes less. Yes, back pain is a thing now. But okay. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm looking forward to doing more of these streams now that I'm not like too super stressed. Hope you liked my last video, and I will see you on the next stream. Bye bye.